This isn't my size. Well, that's new. Stock up on green herbs and grab your security keycard, because today we're going to be exploring a Residence of Evil. Starring Michelle Fast and Furious Rodriguez, Colin AVP Salmon, and Milla Jovovich Haskin. See what I did there? Resident Evil isn't the best video game movie, but it's certainly not the worst. So what's this movie about? Let's dive into the hive to find out. Actually, no, we're not going to do that. Resident Evil is a huge IP stemming from 1996 with a long history of video games, movies, comics, and novels. If you're a viewer of this channel, and like all things horror and sci-fi, I'm sure you're well aware of Resident Evil. For those not familiar with the Resident Evil franchise, here's the Spark Notes. Corrupt megacorporations, bioweapons, zombies, spooky mansions, and even a dash of boulder punching. Many Resident Evil fans have mixed feelings about the movies. Well, because it's not quite canon. However, this doesn't kill it for me. As I mentioned before, I think Paul W.S. Anderson is the king when it comes to making stylized sci-fi horror hybrids. This movie drips style and blood equally. While I initially fell in love with this movie as an impressionable 12-year-old, I still feel its impact today. In fact, it's one of the movies that inspired me to get involved with filmmaking. And look where that got me now! There are so many memorable set pieces throughout this film, such as the spooky mansion, the boarding platforms, Dining Hall B and all of its specimen containers, the Red Queen's chamber, and who could forget the laser hallway. All of these locations act as the perfect home for all the horror and action to play out. Resident Evil has one of my favorite film scores. The uneasy, aggressive industrial sounds were composed by Marco Beltrami and Marilyn Manson. Even the songs not used in the movie itself, but appear on the soundtrack, are enough to charm any middle school edgelord. The track listing plays out like an Ozfest lineup. Slipknot, Mudvayne, Marilyn Manson, Static X, Rammstein, and Depeche Mode. I can almost smell the $10 Bud Lights already. This movie's filled with zombies and trivia. The film's original title was Resident Evil Ground Zero, but was changed because 9/11 happened the year before. Yikes, talk about too soon. The presidents of Capcom Japan and America made cameos as zombies. The security code on the Dining Hall B entrance contains Paul W.S. Anderson's birthday, March 4th, 1965. James Cameron views Resident Evil as a guilty pleasure, however this movie made Roger Ebert's most hated list. The cover features Alice holding a G-36C with grenade launcher, however she never uses it in the movie. The scene where Alice finds the note, "One day all your dreams come true," is a reference to Total Recall's Melina note. Milla did all of her own stunts, with the exception of the jump in the sewer scene. She trained for 3 months to pull off the running wall jump kick for the kennel scene. The makeup department struggled with the Cerebus scene because the dogs kept licking off their makeup. Decent chunks of the movie were filmed at unfinished train stations of the Berlin Underground. The simulated skyline through the hive windows is San Francisco. The train's ID tag is Alexia, one of the main villains of Resident Evil Code Veronica. Despite this film featuring hundreds of them, not once was the word zombie used. Thanks for tuning in to Airlock Shock. If you've enjoyed today's content, be sure to like, comment, and
you're all going to
subscribe
down here.
Tune into our sister series, Tape Tomb, featuring Larry Downs. He's always collecting new VHSs for his horror collection. Check us out on our various social media platforms. Sometimes we post on Instagram. I'm Nik Haskin of Nightmarefuelstreaming, and until next time, stay spacey, friends.